Hey guys, and welcome back to the Chaotic Kids channel, where I, Michelle, document my life here on YouTube as I try to become a full-time author while also traversing the world of multiple personalities. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around. But today we're going to be talking about Mental Health Awareness Month and just kind of doing a little chit-chat. So let's get into it. Hey guys, today is May 30th. I wanted to have a discussion about Mental Health Awareness Month, even though I am posting this June 10th. I still just wanted to have a discussion with you guys about it, just because, in my intros, I do say I'm somebody who has multiple personalities, traversing the world, multiple personalities, and, I kind of talk about it a little bit, especially with my pen names, because my pen names are my alters, or at least a few of them are. But I get questions in my day-to-day life, what are you diagnosed with? And I'm I'm a terrible person when it comes to it, because I don't exactly know what I'm diagnosed with. Not because, it's mostly because I don't care. I'm just I don't know how else to describe it other than I just don't care. They could tell me and I'll be like, okay, and then I'll just forget. But, honestly, the diagnosis isn't going to change much. Say if I was, so the two diagnoses that, I think I'm in between, and I've been told, is, dissociative identity disorder and schizoaffective disorder. Even though, in my mind, those two have absolutely nothing in common, but those are the two things that I've heard. And I'm just I don't know which one I have. I'm terrible because I just live my life with my alters. I try not to think about it, but at the same point, I think about it all the time, just because, there's 20 of us living in my head all the time, and it's just chaos. But yeah, so I don't, that's why I think I'm a terrible person. Not terrible person, but terrible, person when it comes to mental health, just because, I don't know what I have. I know I have conversion disorder, but even then I'm well, conversion disorder is also called pseudogenic non-epileptic seizures. I think that's right. But so I have those. They cause me pain. Well, not pain like physical pain, but it causes me to miss work. It even causes me to miss time at just regular time of the day. Today, while me and my dad were working on the house, I believe I had a seizure. All I remember is, I don't even remember much. It was just me downstairs. I kind of vaguely remember being on the floor. And then I remember sitting and staring at the wall. And then I remember going outside. And then my brother came over and everything was better. I don't know. But so I know I have conversion disorder. That is something I've had since 2018 or 2018. And then I've been diagnosed with I started off with bipolar, then schizoaffective disorder, maybe by dissociative identity disorder, then maybe OSDD, which is other specified dissociative disorder. I have no idea. And every time I try to ask for a confirmation, I feel like I just get a roundabout answer, which probably means that I should probably get a new person. But maybe it's just also because I don't really care. I do care, but at the same point, it's not, how do I put this? Maybe it's not, even with a diagnosis, it wouldn't affect my life, I feel like. I think that's the way I want to word it. I don't know. But, say if I did get diagnosed, say worst case, don't want to say worst case, it's not the worst case. But say I do have dissociative identity disorder or a OSDD, what is that going to do? It makes people look at you like you're a crazy person. Or make people look at you like, whoa, I don't know if we should trust you. I don't know if we should hang out with you anymore. So it's just it just ends up hurting me in the long run. I tell my sister, I tell my family, my siblings, my dad, and my grandma about my fact that I have multiple personalities, just because it makes the most sense to me. I just call it multiple personalities. I don't necessarily call it DID or dissociative identity disorder or OSDD. I just call it multiple personalities. I'm from a very small town, so it just makes sense for people. But, even when I tell my aunts and uncles about it, they're like, oh. You know, like, I don't know how else to describe it, but their face just, like, they drop, like, their facial expressions drop for a second, and then they're like, oh, that's so cool, or stuff like that. It's not even, oh, so cool, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, and stuff, and it's like, why? But yeah. So I tell people I have multiple personalities, and sometimes I have some alters who just tell it straight up to people, just so they would leave us alone. Just because they know the reaction, and they're okay getting that reaction, but, like, say it's me or Michelle up front, and we're listening to somebody talk about it, or, like, we hear one of our alters say it to somebody else, and then they leave, and then me and Michelle are up here, like, how do we, like, I don't know, traverse this, I guess? I don't know how else to describe it. But yes, that's fun. But yeah, so we just mostly call ourselves that we have multiple personalities. It makes the most sense to us. And it's something that my alters are okay with listening to. I would say, like, I feel like part of me wonders if I have it or not. Like, if I, like, okay, this sounds weird to say. Part of me wonders if I actually have multiple personalities or if it's just something I made up. Which I don't think you can just make this up and everything be what it is now. Well, I don't know. Like, I listen to a lot of YouTube about, like, dissociative identity disorder because I'm trying to make sense of what I've got. And people are like, oh, this person's faking it because of this, this, and this. And I'm like, am I faking it? Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but, like, then I'll see, like, I don't want to say today, for example, because I was clearly having a conversion disorder or a pseudogenic non-epileptic seizure. But at the same point, my brother has seen me in these different stages of, like, different alters, and he's like, I don't know how else to describe it other than you are someone else. Like, and sometimes the alter will tell my brother their name, but, like, it's just a different person. Like, they sometimes know, like, everything that's going on in the system, like, not around, like, on the system, but, like, going around in the world around them. But, like, take our mom, for example. Our mom died in 2022, and some of our alters don't remember that time or don't remember that she's dead. So, like, my brother's like, whenever you have these episodes and you're at my house and you're like, oh, where's mommy and stuff, and then he's like, has to pause and think how he's going to answer that, because the ones who usually talk about mom are the littles, and the littles are, like, under 18, maybe even under 10, and so it's just like, how do we traverse someone who's very, not very obviously, but very much a child in the instant, and having to understand that, like, hey, your mom's dead. You know, it's something that we as a body, or, like, me and Michelle have kind of worked together. I would say kind of, but we're terrible at it still. But we've kind of worked through it, being like, okay, mom's not here. We're still going to go to the cemetery every day, or attempt to go to the cemetery every day and pray a rosary with her. But, like, do stuff like that. But it's hard for littles whenever they're just, like, just come into, I don't want to say just come into the light, but, like, they don't get to front that often because Michelle is a jerk. And doesn't like to have the littles presented because she's, like, told her entire life, like, you can't be a child. Like, adults have to be adults. They cannot be children. And so, I guess that's the way to word it. Like, I don't even know if that makes sense. But, like, the littles, like, Michelle doesn't let the littles out because it's like, we're 24, she wants to be considered a 24-year-old. She doesn't want these little parts of her to act out and then other people look bad on us. Or, like, look bad at us. Which is a whole other thing we want to not go on to, about how we view everyone, like, looks down upon us. But yeah, I had some fun stuff. But yeah, so I don't remember where I was going with this. Basically, we say that we have multiple personalities. We try not like, we talk about it here on this channel, just because, like, it is part of our daily life. Like, we do talk about it, and, like, say our pen names, Maris, Grace, and Shelly. Those are altars in our system, and technically Maris is a system within a system. Like, there is, I don't know why I'm trying to count them right now, but there's like 15 altars that make up the Maris system, and like they're all different altars who are like trying to like piece together this massive world while also kind of figuring out who they are. Because like, it's weird for me to say, but like, I can feel them kind of like whenever they're able to come out, because again, they're not able to come out all the time, because honestly right now, because we're working on the house and we just don't have time to work on books and mental health and also work on the house. Like, we have way too much going on right now. But like, whenever we work on Maris's projects, we can feel the Maris's system like shifting and kind of understanding. Like, every time we make headway in the story sense, it makes sense in the altars, like the system as well. Does that make sense? I don't know. But yeah. I hope this is making sense to you guys. Basically, this was going to be just a giant random me talking about my mental health and how sometimes I'm a terrible, terrible human. I just don't. I care about my mental health and I care about my health in general, but going actively, like, to go out of my way, like, not even necessarily go out of my way, but like, I don't know, like, figuring out what the official diagnosis is just doesn't, like, it would be nice, but we're in the middle of nowhere. Like, yes, we live in a town, but our town only has, like, 200 people on a good day, and the next closest town maybe has 1,000, so it's a very small town. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's kind of what I wanted to talk about, mental health. Obviously, I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. That sounds rude, but, like, whatever you have going on, you know, sometimes diagnoses help, sometimes they don't. It's up to you and who you are. For us in our system, it doesn't matter. We're just going to live our life. And, well, each one of us has differing opinions on this. This is personally my take. I am somewhat new to the system. I'm not going to give you my name because it's just not relevant. But I am somebody who kind of I'm a fusion of different altars, which means, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm not even fully aware, but, like, so there were, like, 3 individuals who combined and made one. But even then, it's not necessarily combined one, it's just, I don't know. I'm not very good at this. But yeah, that's kind of what we are going to talk about on this mental health month. If you have any comments, leave it down below. If you guys are somebody who has multiple personalities or dissociative identity disorder, or OSDD, or schizoaffective disorder, I don't know. If you have any diagnosis, and, like, tell me if it makes you, like, if it changes, like, not necessarily changes, but, like, if it affects the way that you look at yourself, maybe, or, like, because, like, I feel like my biggest problem is how others look at me. Like, with the diagnosis, it's how others view me. Especially, like, and it's so hard to say because, like, like I said, I'm from a small, small town. And, like, once one person know about it, everybody knows about it. So, it's a little much. But yeah, that's all I've got to say for today. I hope you guys all have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye!